Good morning, grade 6. Today's date is 11th of May and day is Monday, and we're going to be continuing with the unit 9, Force and Motion. The lesson is Friction, an important force. It's from your course book, page 136 and 137. So let's start. The objectives that you have for today are: describe the effects of friction on the motion of an object, study useful friction, learn how to reduce friction, and measure and investigate friction. Before we start learning about friction, let's review what we have learned before. Forces act on objects by pushing, pulling, twisting, stretching, right? And this can be shown by a force arrow. A force arrow shows the direction of force. As you can see, there's a pineapple on the table. The forces that act upon the pineapple are shown by these arrows. The downward force is the pull, is the weight of the pineapple on the table, and the upward force is the force of the table on the pineapple. Forces are measured in newtons, and we measure them by using force meters. We also call them as Newton meters. We learnt about the difference between mass and weight on Thursday. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. It is measured in the units of kilogram. It doesn't change wherever an object, a person, a thing goes, because the amount of matter doesn't change. So we can say the mass of an astronaut is the same on the Earth as on the Moon. Whereas the weight is a force acting on an object due to gravity. It is measured in newtons. It does change because the gravity changes from place to place. The weight of the astronaut is less on the Moon than on the Earth because the Moon's gravity is 1.6 Newton per kg and the Earth's gravity is 10 newtons per kg. 1 kg on the Earth feels 10 Newton force on it. Same way, every 1 kg on the Moon feels 1.6 newtons force on it. Now weight is measured in newtons, and whenever we talk about the weight, we always discuss the gravity, and gravity is a force which pulls things towards itself, and it is a downward force. What is friction? Let me just start with a small example of our daily life. When you're feeling cold on a very cold day, what do you do with your hands? You start rubbing them. And when you rub your hands, you feel your hands start getting warm. Happens due to friction. Rubbing of hands causes heat to be produced due to friction. So we can define friction as: friction occurs between two surfaces that are in contact and they slide over each other. It's a force that is occurring between two surfaces. Okay? What is friction? Friction can be shown by the motion of a moving ball. When you push a ball, it stops after some time. Why? This is because of friction. Friction causes a rolling ball to slow down and stop. So we can say friction is a force which opposes motion. It acts between two surfaces in contact. Friction can produce heat, wear things away, slow things down, and make a noise. And how you can learn this all? What friction can do? Peter Watts spent money. P from Peter produces heat. Watts wear things away from the W. S from spent slow things down, and M makes from the money makes a noise. So friction can be explained by two more examples. Friction is a force between two surfaces that are sliding or trying to slide. For example, when you try to push a box on the floor, there is a push of yourself. That means, for example, there's a boy. A boy is pushing the box in one direction, which you can see by the force diagram, and the force of friction is pushing the box in the other direction. So we can see that friction always works in the direction opposite from the direction of the object that is moving or trying to move. It always slows a moving object down. When the push of the boy becomes equal to the force of friction, then the box will start moving. Now, for example, if you're riding on your bicycle moving in the front and the friction is causing it to move backwards, so it slows the motion down. But sometimes friction is very useful. For example, the boy in the first example is moving the box on a plain surface, not on a sliding surface. It's a straight surface. But if you have a box which is on a slide, it's because of friction and because of the weight of the box that the box does not come sliding down.
DK Find Out Science. Friction. Friction is a pulling force. Friction slows things down. When an object rubs against another surface, friction makes them pull against each other. Different surfaces produce different amounts of friction. Smooth surfaces, such as ice, do not create much friction. This means skiers and ice skaters can slide over them easily. Rough surfaces, such as roads, produce a lot of friction. This helps car wheels grip the road and allows cars to stop easily. The less friction a surface causes, the farther objects can travel across it. Let's see how far these bobsleds will travel when pushed across 3 different surfaces. Green grass. A very rough surface, like grass, produces lots of friction, causing an object sliding over it to slow down a lot. The longer the grass, the more quickly the object will slow down. Wood floorboards. Floorboards are fairly smooth, producing only a little friction. This allows objects to slide over them pretty easily. Slippery surface. A smooth surface such as this, covered in oil, creates hardly any friction. Objects slide very easily and quickly along them.
Now I want you to open your copybook and write down the fill in the blanks in your notebook. The options are force, rough, smooth and surfaces. Friction is dash caused by 2 dash moving over each other. Dash surfaces produce more friction than dash surfaces. Another example of friction in action is when you are applying brakes on a bicycle or a car. The brakes are applied by creating friction between the brake pad and the wheels. Now you can see I'm showing you a small picture of a bicycle. The way does the friction happen? It's created here between the brake pads and the wheel. When the brake pads touch the wheel and they cause the friction and they stop the wheel when you apply pressure on the handle, on your brake pads on the handle. This is how friction happens and it causes the bike to stop, and the bike stops also because of the friction between the wheels and the road and the friction between the brake pads and the wheel. So the many forces which are acting together. So friction is very useful. Even when your parents are driving the car, they apply when they want to apply brake, they press on the brake pad, which causes the tires to stop, and it will stop because of the friction between the road and the tire. But you know, sometimes when it's raining and your parents are up and the road is wet, when your parents try to apply the brake, sometimes it takes a bit more longer. Why is that? It's because the friction is more on the rough surface, whereas the friction than on the smooth surface. Okay, because the smooth surface becomes slippery, so there's going to be less friction on it. And the friction also opposes the movement of wheels, and it slows them down and eventually stops them. This is when you have applying brakes on a bicycle and your car. Friction is all around us. Friction is also very useful for us. It helps us to walk because our shoes grip to the floor. It helps the cars to apply brake and prevent them from skidding. It's also very useful for people for ice skating because ice surface is very smooth and they need very little friction so they can keep on sliding on it. So the shoes that they have for skating, that means the ice skates, they have a very small thin surface, so minimum amount of friction is present and they can slide as much as they want to. Another very useful example of friction is writing. We can only hold the pencil in a hand because of friction. We can write because of friction. We can rub because of friction. Let's see how. When you hold the pencil, there's a friction between the pencil and our fingertips. We can only hold the pencil because of the friction. It keeps it in its place. Then when you're writing it down, the pencil lead would not leave a mark on the paper without friction. And when you make mistakes, what do? You use an eraser. And this eraser helps to wipe out the mistakes by applying friction. It rubs off the mistake. There's a friction between the eraser and the paper which wipes out your mistake. This is how useful it is. Driving a car is also one very good example of useful friction. When you're driving a car, if there was no friction, you would not be able to apply brakes. And brakes, when you apply the brakes, is the friction between the tires and the road. And if there was no friction, the cars will continuously move and there's not going to be brake and there are going to be many accidents. The brake system are present between the rear tires. That means the tires in the end and the brake pads, which helps the car to slow down and stop. Have you seen that on rainy days, the friction between the tires and the road is less? Why do you think is that? It's because, if anybody has guessed the answer, it's because when the rain falls, the surface of the road becomes smooth. First it was rough, and because it is smooth, the tires cannot grip onto the road even if they have applied the brake. So it takes a slightly longer time to apply the brake and the car to stop during rainy days. So we should always maintain a safe distance while driving. This is one of the safety rules. Friction is useful also, and at times it becomes bad also. Like supposingly, if you know that you have your balcony doors and you have these your doors in your houses, they start after some time, they start making that noise when you open it. It makes a creaking noise, and that you can remove. How do your parents remove that? They apply oil to it, they apply grease to it, and this process is called as lubrication. And by lubricating, that means making it wet, the surfaces, they don't have more friction and they can easily slide over each other. And when you do these things, the wear and tear because of the rubbing of two surfaces, that also becomes less. First, they were rubbing against each other, they were causing too much of friction, they were making noise, but we reduce the friction by lubrication, by applying oil, by applying grease, and then now we can move our doors openly, easily, and even our balcony doors. And I think you're very familiar with the term WD-40, right? You must have seen that parents do use that. So that is a lubricating thing that you apply. Okay. We can measure friction using a force meter. A force meter measures the force of friction. How we can measure that? We take a wooden block. We know when we're trying to move the block towards ourselves, friction is acting against it. It does not allow the block to move. So when the block starts to move, the force meter spring moves and the pointer on the force meter moves, showing the amount of friction that is present. So this way we can measure the friction. Now on your page 137, you have a small investigation. You can investigate the different factors that affect the size of the force of friction. Adding weights, changing the surface in contact and covering a different materials to make it smooth or rough. Now in the picture we have wrapped it in a cling film. Now you have three blocks. One has a weight added on it, one is turned so that there is less surface touching the other sliding surface, and the third block has been wrapped in a cling film. Now according to you, which block is going to have the largest friction? That means it will be this, it will require most force in moving. It is going to have the largest friction. Think over it, grade 6. Yes, when we add the weight, because when we add weight to it, there's going to be more force applying from the of the weight also downwards, and the force of friction is also acting upon it, so you require more force. Number 2, which is going to be the second part, the turn one or the wrap in the cling film one? The wrap in the cling film, exactly. And the third is the turn. Why is the turn one? Because in this case the surface that is in contact is the least, whereas the wrap in the cling film, even though it has become smooth, but there is more surface in contact with the sliding surface, and that is why the friction is still more as compared to turn. Even though it has become less, but it is still more. Now I want you to try a small experiment at home. I will just explain you how the experiment is. What you would need. You would need two plastic bottles, or one, if it depends upon you. I want a small 500 ml plastic bottle, or even smaller than that. And you need rice, the normal rice that you have, but not cooked, raw rice, okay? Don't put cooked rice, your mama is not going to like it. Take raw rice, that means it's not cooked, uncooked rice, and pencils. If you're using 2 bottles, then 2 pencils. Then what do you have to do? You have to take a clean plastic bottle, or any other strong bottle. I think it's better if you use a plastic bottle. Take about 1 kg of rice. Then using a piece of paper, you can add in the rice in the bottle till the bottle becomes full of rice. Okay. Then you take a pencil and you dip it, push the pencil inside the rice. And when you push the pencil inside the rice, hold the bottle down and hit it hard on the surface. But not as hard that the whole rice will fall out, but just gently, okay? Hard enough that rice doesn't fall out, but hard enough so that the air pressure releases from the rice in between. And then, that's the most surprising part. You can lift the bottle using a pencil and the rice will not fall out. You have to do this experiment and then you have to tell me why. Okay, this is very easy. You can do it at home from anything. Okay, I'll repeat it again for you. You need 2 plastic bottles or 1 plastic empty bottle. You need rice. You can see I've made a small cone of paper and I've added the rice in the bottle using that paper, and then I put a pencil inside, and once I put a pencil inside, I hit it on a table. Not hard enough and not gentle enough. Just hit it so that the air in between the rice, it gets released. It comes out from the bottle. And then if you will lift the pencil up, the bottle also will rise up. Now you will do the experiment and then you will tell me, take a small recording of it, send it to me, okay, while you're doing an experiment, and tell me what happens and why it happens. I want the reason why most importantly, and I want you to mention your name and your class, all right? So I want you to copy paste the given link as a study set grade 6. The Quizlet link is there. You can connect on it, you can study from it, and there are 2 additional resources which when you have a look at it, you'll have more better idea about friction. Okay, and take care of yourself, stay at home and stay safe, and Ramadan Kareem to all of you. Goodbye.